You're doing the online? You're doing the online? Okay. How about you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do is be real flexible here and do what you want to do, because we're just starting to do this, and so we got an email out. It was kind of late, but we got it out. And so since it's a small group, that's good, because I can sort of say a few things generally about online, but then I want to sort of hear from you. What do you know, if you got some questions or some confusions about as you start your course. So how many of you have you taken online classes before? Huh? What have you taken?
A whole bunch.
Whole bunch?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've taken business, writing, business, I don't know what it was. I took Excel. I'm taking a class
so
right now. I've taken, every semester I've taken all.
And are these fully online or
Yes.
combinations? Okay,
No,
good.
fully online.
Fully online. How about you?
Oh, this is my first.
That's your first online class. What are you taking?
Counseling 7.
Counseling 7. Okay, good. How about you?
I took a class quite a few years ago, server-side web design.
Uh-huh. And what are you doing this term?
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint. Okay.
That's a good one.
How about you?
Taken 2 criminal justice classes.
Uh-huh.
I've taken LR10 before.
Okay, good. And how about you?
I too have taken LR10. I've taken a sociology class, and right now I'm taking a geography class.
Okay, good. So we've got some experienced online students, some new online students. Some of the things that some of you who have had online classes already know. Some of you who are new to this. You obviously need to know how to use a computer, download files, and have an internet connection. Any problems with sort of the technical side of things as we're getting started? Everybody's able to log on to your class? That's okay. That's working well? Okay. All right. There is quite a bit of computer access on the campus if you don't have a computer, or if you don't have a laptop you carry around. There's, of course, this place here at Vacaville with computer labs, open computer labs. We've got open computer labs on the campus, plus the library has about 60 computers with high-speed connections. So we're trying to increase that accessibility so that if you need to check your class, or if you have trouble uploading or downloading documents, you should be able to get into some computer resources either here or on the main campus. You probably are starting to realize, and you will realize soon, that our online classes are not self-paced, so they typically have a schedule that the instructor is expected to follow. In fact, we're not really encouraged to offer self-paced courses. That's sort of another kind of online education that we don't do here, which means even though many online students would like to just blast right through the 18-week semester in a month and go do something else, we don't encourage that, and the instructors probably won't let you do that. So you'll probably have something where some of the units will be open, but others will be closed, and then they'll just sort of gradually open as they go. Yeah, and different instructors will do different things. Sometimes it's week by week, sometimes it's month by month. It really depends. Also, some instructors will close material in units that you've already finished without access. Others leave them open and let you have access to them, and many instructors are kind of in between. Sometimes they'll close. You can't submit work in a previous unit, but you can still go and get files and look at work. So there's different things that you do, and you want to make sure you check with your instructor to make sure you see what their policies are. Now, what makes successful online student? What do you think? My experience is you've got to learn how to manage your time, right? Is that the biggest challenge for those of you who have? How about the veterans? What's your biggest challenge?
You got to understand what the teacher wants.
Right.
Definitely have to read the syllabus and understand what they mean.
Right.
And then figure out what works with your schedule, and usually do the same thing every week, and you'll stay on track. I mean, if they say the thing closes at midnight on Sunday,
right,
you better figure out when you have the time. And the first week, I don't know, it's just, I set up, because I do online and I go to class.
Right, right.
So I have to figure it between, but understanding what the teacher wants, because each teacher wants something different.
Yeah. And you'll find as you take more online courses, it may look the same, but it's a different instructor
Some
and,
do different testing.
and do the different things, right?
Some time their
Right.
testing, some don't time their testing, some you take a test with the e-test thing where you can't get out of the test, and some do it.
Right. Yeah, and we actually encourage that diversity. It would be kind of boring if every instructor did it exactly the same way, right? So it's the same as the classes on campus. Different instructors are going to do different things. And the key, you're right, is to find out how does this class work. And I'd really encourage you as an online student to be very proactive in talking to your instructor, or really bug them. And if they don't answer your emails, send them another one. Call them on the phone, because we are expecting our online instructors to be responsive to their students, which means we expect them to respond to emails and be present in the class. So it's not an autopilot situation. This is an online learning environment where you're involved and the instructor is involved. Our ideal policy is that an instructor would respond to your email within 24 hours or at the outside 48 hours. Okay. Now, some instructors will have different policies. Some will say, I'll respond quickly, but not on these certain days. So it really, you have to know what the instructor wants, but you should also be proactive in making sure that the instructor is adequately responding to you. Okay. And if you get into a class and it's not real clear how it works, or the syllabus isn't clear, send them emails. Start to communicate.
The discussion.
Pardon?
There's usually a discussion that you have to discuss.
Yeah.
You have to talk.
Right.
And if you ask a question in there, somebody's going to come up with an answer. Or you have email of everybody in the class.
Yes.
So there's different, if the teacher's not doing it, then ask somebody else or
Yeah.
figure out, Because sometimes.
Yeah, we like the instructors, and you will typically have a situation where there'll be some sort of an open cafe or a forum or a discussion thread. This is what a typical instructor would call their virtual office hours, where they are, instead of sitting in their office on campus at a certain hour to answer questions, they'll answer your questions there. And quite often, your classmates will know the answers to those questions, so you can always get a lot of input from your classmates. On technical issues, I've always encouraged online students to back up your work. It's really lousy when your computer crashes or you thought you had it on that flash drive but you didn't. So I always encourage folks to buy one of these little thumb drives and just routinely drag it onto that thumb drive. If you are submitting work to your online class, it's always a good idea to prepare your work on your computer first, and then copy or submit a copy of that work so that you always know that you've got a copy of your work. So that's a good thing to follow. Also, get started early with books. If you're an online student, you should know that you can order your books through the bookstore online if you wish. So take advantage of that. The bookstore has a website where you can do that. And again, I think we already noted that you've got to be self-organized here, because it's not like you're going into class every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the instructor is always there. I teach both online and face-to-face classes. And it's nice to be able to go into my Wednesday, Friday class and always remind my students, you've got a midterm next week, or you've got an exam due next week. And I always have to make sure that I'm doing those same reminders to my online students, either by sending them an email or making it very clear when the due dates are on the assignments, making announcements in the course shell that remind you that you've got something coming up. So, but sometimes instructors aren't as good at that as you want. So you have to sort of take a lot more responsibility for yourself to make sure that you know when assignments are due and you can kind of plan out your time to get that stuff done in time. So that's a little bit more on your shoulders than it would be if you were taking a face-to-face class, okay? Now, one of the things we're really trying to do on our online classes here and make them very interactive so that you really feel you're a part of something. You're not just a single individual sitting in front of a computer screen doing an online class. You should be in a class. If you're in a class of 30 students, you should know those students and talk to those students. So we are hoping that instructors will set up discussion threads, chat rooms, various types of email communications, so that you can talk to your classmates and also talk to your instructors. And if they don't, you should ask for them. Go ahead and send an email in saying, can we have a chat room? Or can we have a discussion board, so that you can start to get some of that stuff, that interaction there. So sometimes you take the initiative to do that. And that will make your class a lot more interactive. Let me go over to the website. And let's pull up ECollege just so that we can make sure everybody kind of gets oriented to the website. So everybody's successfully signed into the ECollege system. You all gotten to this page, and so you're a new student, right? And you've got it all logged in, so you're all clear with that. So let's see, what questions do you have about the ECollege site and how it works?
Are we logging in right now on a computer?
You can, or we can go to your class. Actually, I'm the faculty coordinator for the distance education program, so I have all of the classes on my computer. So where would you like to go? Who wants to log into their class? What's your class?
Counseling 7.
Counseling 7. I think we got a couple of those. Is that a fully online class?
I believe so.
There it is. Who's your instructor?
Christiansen?
This is Alba, yeah, Christensen. So this is the ECollege online environment. Professor Christensen has made hers green, so everybody can have a different color. This is a really key part, and it's the announcements section, right? So this is really nice. The Professor Christensen has already posted 4 announcements that you're going to read. So this is the way in which the instructor communicates with you, and if the online class is going well, you're going to see lots of announcements popping up on a regular basis. If you don't see any announcements, bug your instructor. Please talk to us. Please tell us what we're supposed to be doing. And one of the key ways in which those instructors are supposed to do that is by posting lots of announcements. So again, you kind of, we're hoping our students will be actively involved in their classes to the extent that if you don't hear from your instructor, ask, where are you? So this is, you see the instructor is giving you a sense of how to get started, how to read the syllabus, and things like that. This here's the main navigation bar over here, so typically the course is going to be laid out over here. So this course has chapters, sometimes there'll be units, sometimes there'll be weeks. There are different organizations. The key one here is the syllabus. That's always the key one because that's going to tell you how the course is organized. And this is all electronic. So you can print these out if you like, or you can just access them online. So this is going to tell you books, due dates, schedules, all of that stuff on a typical syllabus.
Our computer do that?
Pardon?
If you go to your class, it will do that?
It will do what?
That screen on that?
Well, my computer is connected up to the projector.
Oh, so it'll be different, the screen.
What's different about the screen? You mean what it looks like?
Yeah, because I logged in, say welcome, my name, but the screen that I have is different from that one. That's what I'm trying to do.
Your welcome screen is different? Your course will probably look a little bit different.
I'm here, now that's my course.
Right.
I'm here.
Yeah, so if you click on that, you'll get into your course. That's your flash course, right? Right.
Oh, okay. So that's it.
So the general arrangement should be the same. You might have a different color scheme because the instructor can actually change the color schemes. But in general, you're going to see course home and syllabus. Those will always be the same. Those never change. So probably the second item under your course home is syllabus, right? We can't change that. We really don't want to change that. So you'll always know what the syllabus is. Just about everything else underneath that is material put in by your instructor. So it's going to look different depending upon what course you're in as to how your instructor is going to organize the class. And again, in some cases, chapter 1 might be open, but the rest might be closed. So if you click on something and it's blank, it'll probably say to you, you don't have access to this unit until, and it'll usually say such and such a date. And that means the instructor doesn't want you to mess around with those units yet. They'll open on that date. So the instructor has that option to do that. Here, across here is your main toolbar, and that's where you've got a lot of the things that you'll be using as course tools. And again, different instructors use different tools. Some of them are really common. There's the grade book. So when you click on the grade book, that'll give you whatever your grades are. And it should. One of the nice things about online is you almost have instantaneous feedback on your grades. If you are submitting assignments, typically they're graded fairly quickly. Anyone done any doc sharing or Dropbox
Not on this, but I've done it.
in other courses? Have you had other courses or?
No, just with work.
With work, so you're kind of familiar with that, right? So doc sharing is sort of the file exchange area. This is where if the instructor has documents, handouts that they want you to read, they'll probably be in doc sharing. Sometimes they'll send this to you by email, but more typically, you'll go to doc sharing and you can see that Professor Christensen has several already for you to read. Looks like she's got a lot of work for you to do already. And you would just go to this doc sharing and you would click it and download that stuff there. So, and what's nice about it is it's impossible to lose a handout in an online class because you can just go back to doc sharing and get another copy of it if you need it. So, and depending upon how many of these, sometimes you want to organize your computer, put a folder on your desktop or something so that when you click to download something, you know where it goes. When I was first getting started in computers, it was frustrating because I'd download a document and then I wouldn't have the foggiest idea where it is. It downloaded, but I have no idea where it is. And I didn't learn about a download folder until much later. So you can actually designate where you want the document to go on your computer. And the easiest way is just to put a folder on your desktop. Or if you're in the library or here, identify a folder on your flash drive. And that way, anything you come in here and download will go to a place where you can find it. So that's doc sharing. And then how about Dropbox? Anyone used Dropbox before? Have you used Dropbox in your work?
Yeah, we have iPhones and iPads for our work, so we communicate and just drop stuff in there.
Dropbox is probably where you're going to be turning in your assignments. That's a very typical way in which you turn in assignments. So you will probably find an instructor saying, do this assignment and then submit it to the Dropbox. And that's what you're doing here. So if you've ever done an attachment to an email, it's about that easy. It's really that easy. So you'll go to Dropbox, and there typically are a series of baskets. Like you've got a whole bunch of baskets here. It looks like you've got a basket for each unit, so it's nice and organized here. And you want to make sure that the instructor is telling you where to put it in the Dropbox. Typically, if there are different baskets, you want one assignment to go to a particular basket. That's really important because I've found that if a student uploads it to the wrong basket, I don't see it because I'm not looking at that basket. I'm looking at the other basket, and if it's not there, I might give it a 0, and then the student emails me and says, how come you didn't grade my assignment? And it was because it was in the wrong basket. So you want to make sure that your assignment doesn't get lost, so that if she says put it in Unit 1 journals, make sure you get it in that basket. You just, to upload a document, let's see if this will work. Professor Christensen might wonder why she's getting assignments before class has started. This is an upload. I'm actually not in a student view, so it looks a little bit different in your view. But you would click on the basket, and then there will be a button up here for you to submit your assignment, and you just click on it, and then you find your document, attach it, and upload it. And what it does, it goes from your computer to the instructor's computer.
So you don't actually type in your answer or whatever?
Typically not. Yeah, I mean, if you were doing that, you would be doing that in the assignment page, not here in Dropbox. So, let me see. Yeah, I don't have the ability to do that because this is the instructor view. It's not the student view. But you'll have an inbox and there'll be an upload button there. So that's how you upload to the Dropbox. So those are the kinds of skills you'll learn how to do pretty quickly. Some of you may already know how to do those skills, but that's sort of what you learn to do. Okay? What else do you want to know? What other questions do you have? We'll just open it up.
Complete whatever unit is open, or if, say, she just says Unit 1 is due this week, but we see that Unit 2 is open, can we go ahead and just move on? Or?
Well, that's something for your instructor. All the instructors have different policies. So some instructors will actually close the unit, the next unit, and have everybody finish the current unit, and then everybody goes to the next one. Other instructors will have the next couple open, and if you finish early, you can go ahead and get started. It really just depends upon the instructor. So clarify. If you're not sure, clarify. Typically, if a unit's open, they haven't closed it, so you might as well go on in and take a look and start doing things. If they don't want you to do that, they'll close it. So, but if they haven't closed it, then there's no reason why you shouldn't.
So here on the assignments, it says that late submission assignment will be assessed a penalty of 10% per day. 10% of what? Of the grade? Or?
Typically, if they say 10% a day, that means that your grade will be deducted by 10% if it's late.
Is it talking about the points? 10% of the points? Or?
Typically, if they're giving a point score for an assignment, they would just deduct 10% of that. And that's a fairly typical rule, that there's usually some sort of a consequence for being late. So you want to make, again, that's where it comes down to getting a calendar, getting organized so that you're not scrambling around doing things at the last minute. Also, you've got a little extra wrinkle in the process, which is you have this technical thing where you've got to upload a document. Sometimes your internet connection goes out for a couple hours, you know? And it almost always seems to happen right when you've got something due, right? So don't wait till the last minute when you're online. Inevitably, it'll hit you one of these times where your computer didn't work or the internet connection didn't work and you end up being late. And you can claim a technical glitch and maybe the instructor will be sympathetic, but maybe they won't. So it's always good to get it in a little bit early before you are faced with a last minute deadline. Other questions? Any other courses we want to look at? Any other specific questions about your classes? Yeah.
For the class discussion, we're required to comment on someone else's, what they wrote.
Uh-huh.
And do you just like email that person back, or how do you respond to?
So are you going to have class discussions?
Yeah.
I'm just sort of wandering around here because, here we go, this is it. So this is called a threaded discussion. It's what we call, how many of you have had threaded discussions in your online class? Okay, good, because we're hoping that instructors do lots of threaded discussions. Threaded discussions are discussions that you have with your other students. So if you're ever in an in-class class and you have a group meeting, that's kind of what a threaded discussion is, except you're not necessarily doing it at the exact same time. So typically a discussion will be over a few days, and you will log in, post to the discussion, read what other students have posted, they'll read what you post, and you can kind of comment on each other. Is that what the assignment was?
Yeah, it says for full credit you have to comment on someone's work. So I guess when you say, like, good job or something, or?
Well, so here is one of your threaded discussions from Chapter 1. And it looks like Professor Christensen has created a question or a topic for you to think about. And then down below, now this hasn't started yet, so it's empty. But this is the way in which the threaded discussion will start. Okay, so to respond to these questions that the instructor has posed, you would hit the respond tab right there. That's going to open up a box in which you can type in your contribution, and then you're going to submit that, and then yours will pop up in that window, and your instructor can see it, and all the other students can see what you wrote. And then other students will be coming in and doing the same thing, and what you're going to see is that paragraphs is going to start popping up in this discussion, and you can read them, and then you're probably going to be responding to them. Now, how you respond is good job, okay. Well, that's something you ask your instructor, because all the instructors have different criteria as to what counts.
Just look at the demo course, but when I was looking at the demo course, that part wasn't working.
Oh, the discussion wasn't working?
Yeah.
Well, let me see if...
I didn't know how to respond.
Let me see if we can go over to...
She also
Oh, here we
told
go.
us to take this online assessment and do the demo course, but it wasn't working either. So.
Oh, now you'll notice up at the top when you go into your main course list, this is a big, huge thing because I have all of them, but up at the top it says special courses. Have you noticed that? There are a couple of special courses up there that are actually kind of interesting. One is the Tips for Success. That was put together by the counseling faculty, and it's a nice place to go just to sort of get some ideas. A lot of what I already talked about is up there, so you can get more there. Is that the demo course you were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let me see if I can find one of my classes. And we have to go into the past to see that, because I'm actually teaching in another platform right now. So let's see if there's something in here we could use. Here's my class from a couple of years ago. Nope. I'd already moved. I should point out, because you're going to be hearing about it, the Solana Community College is going to be going to a new program for its online classes. Over the next couple of years, we're using this, which is ECollege. And we have just chosen a new platform called Canvas. And we're going to be transitioning the entire program over the next 2 years from ECollege into Canvas. So if you're going to be around for a couple of years, you're going to probably see this transition. And you're going to see some of your classes popping up in the new platform. And I think you're going to really like it when you see it, because it's much more intuitive, it's much easier to use, and it's much easier to communicate with everyone. So you're going to see that. I can... let me pop over and I'll just show you in Canvas what a threaded discussion looks like, because it looks actually quite similar in Canvas to what it looks like in ECollege.
This is the new one?
This is the new system, right. So you may not see this in your classes yet, unless you want to take a class from me. But you're going to start seeing this fairly soon in the new system, and I think you're really going to like it. This is what a threaded discussion looks like in Canvas. So here someone has posted to the threaded discussion, see that? And then here someone has made a comment. Selena has made a comment. They're just introducing themselves in this first one here. And then Debbie has responded to her comment, okay? Now you'll notice if it's in here, Selena made her comment on January 10th, about a week ago. Debbie just responded to her yesterday. And that's what we call an asynchronous discussion. In other words, Debbie and Selena actually aren't talking together at the same time. They're just kind of responding to each other's posts. Ever done a Facebook page? Mm-hmm. Very similar. This is basically, it's based on a Facebook kind of technology. So probably at some point in your online classes, you're going to be doing that kind of a threaded discussion. And again, for this and for anything else, if you're not clear what the instructor wants, ask. And that's where you really have to be assertive. And if the instruction's not clear, go ahead and ask. Because if you're in a class with a teacher and the teacher explains how to do something and it wasn't clear, you could just raise your hand and say, could you please clarify that? So on an online course, the instructor wrote up nice instructions, and maybe they think it's very clear, posted it, and then they don't hear you unless you say, that's not clear, can you please explain that? So make sure that you send emails to your instructors, call them up on the phone, and have them clarify things if it's not clear. Okay? Other questions, other points about getting started? Everything's okay? Everything's clear? Going smooth? Good. Great. All right. Well, one other point, I want to just alert you that somewhere towards the end of your semester, probably sometime late April, you're going to get an email from the distance education program with a survey. And we'd like you to take a survey because we're really trying to learn from our students what's working, what's not working, what would you like to improve about the distance education program. And so definitely respond to the survey. It should only take you 10 minutes. And it's entirely anonymous, so we don't know who you are. But we really want to know how things are going, what works, what doesn't work. And so give us some feedback when you get towards the end of your semester. Okay? All right, great. I think we can quit there, and I'm going to hang around for a few minutes. So if you've got individual questions or you want to look at things, by all means. Okay, great.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.